Hey, did you make off with that armor while none of us were looking? Because I've gotta admit, you look pretty snazzy in it.
He didn't steal it, if that's what you mean. Bregan gave it to him as a parting gift.
Ah, right. Although it makes sense, I guess. It's like a symbol of rebellion in its own way.
Which is why it should have been your father wearing this, not me.
I don't know. I don't think he could have pulled it off like you, man.
I wonder what the last wearer of this armor was dreaming of for Cyslodia when they decided to rise up and fight.
Who knows? Anyone who could have answered that is long gone. Truth is always lost with the departed.
Are you saying there's no point in trying to understand why they gave up their lives?
No. Only that it's impossible to know for sure. Look, I can tell that you're concerned about Cyslodia's future, but we do have other things to take care of. You can't shoulder all of the world's problems, Alphen. If you try to, you'll only find yourself buried by the weight of it all.
Yeah, I know. My path is forward, and I'll do what I can, here and now.
You were born in Calaglia, right, Law?
Oh yeah. It's scalding hot all the time there, so I was shocked when I learned Cyslodia is the exact opposite. Not to mention dark.
Not anymore, thankfully.
How did you even manage to cross the border between realms? All 5 realms are supposed to be closed off, due to the nature of the crown contest.
What? Is this an interrogation now?
I didn't mean it like that. I just figured if a Danon like you was able to slip between realms, it could come in handy later.
Ah, good thinking. I don't think I really did anything all that creative, though.
What? Don't tell me you climbed over the walls of fire.
Oh, hell no. Not even Zeugles could do something that crazy. Nah, I stowed away.
In what?
Oh, you'll like this. The realms don't maintain much contact with each other, but there are resources each is looking to trade for. So, there are cargo convoys from each of the lords that go around a few times a year to lend those resources to each other.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. That was the only time the gates of Calaglia would ever open up.
Right. Obviously, they don't let Danons ride with them, so I snuck on board inside some cargo instead.
So you were carried out of the realm? You did great not getting caught. Way to go.
Let's just say I've always had a knack for sneaking around since I was little. I was also really desperate to get the hell out of Calaglia at the time. I had more guts than brains that day. If I had to guess, I probably wasn't the first one to ever do something like that. Danon or Renan.
I wonder if that's how Ganabelt, was able to hear about what happened in Calaglia so quickly.
So in other words, we should always assume that the enemy is informed about whatever it is that we may be up to, wherever we go.
Thanks for letting me stick around, you guys.
Sure, we're happy to have you. But are you sure you don't want to head back to Calaglia?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I can help yet. But for now, I'm going to follow Alphen and see what happens next.
Where does that drawbridge connect to?
No idea, but I've seen it get lowered. It can't be lowered from this side anyway, so it's useless to us. No backing down! Dragon Swarm!
Thunder! They're surrounding us!
Talon Hurricane! Take this!
These ones can run rings around us!
Dragon Swarm!
In here!
Lightning Thrust!
By the power of the
Take
Lord!
this!
That's the way!
You're mine! This one's carved through! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame!
Swallow Blade! Talon Storm! Take this! Eat
Astral energy!
Say no more!
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Dragon Swarm! Dragon Scout! Lightning Thrust!
Dance in the wind!
Where are you going?
Damn it!
Do it!
Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got!
Well done.
Now! First strike!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Dance in the wind! It's over. In here!
You're mine! First strike! Dragon Swarm! Talon Hurricane! Rollerblade! Dragon
It's like
Swarm!
trying to keep up with a wolf!
Talon Swarm! Thrust! Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Here I remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got!
Well done.
Move it! Talon Hurricane!
All day!
Do it!
Anything in armor.
Astral energy! Full throttle! Dance in the wind!
Dragon You're mine!
In here!
Dazzle!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Hey, new equipment!
Man.
Out of our way!
Take this!
They got me, boy!
Dazzle! Strata!
Laser spear!
Burn in hell! We're cleaning house!
Oh, let me take the rest.
Well, someone's feeling lively.
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Be still!
Xion, astral energy! Full throttle!
Eat this!
You're mine!
It's over.
Supernova!
If it's in the...
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Right, here goes!
Where are you going?
Take this! I'm not done!
Do it! Airborne beast, my special.
I'm not
That gun of yours is real handy in a pinch.
To take the true marksman. I've got this. Let him marksman handle it. We won that by a mile.
Who? Who?
Look, Hootle! One of your buddies! Woo!
What's wrong?
Really?
Ah!
Sure.
Hey. Ah!
Right.
Right. Nice work. What?
Hey!
Well? What? Shion.
What?
Very nice. Boy, talk about a spry old man.
I can't wait to see him again.
You really liked that apple pie, didn't you?
Heck of a lot of fish swimming around in this pond, huh?
Are they edible?
Sure, they're edible, but we've got no way to catch any.
I hate camping out.
Hi, Hootle!
Dragon Swarm!
Here,
Take it! Swallow Blade!
don't mind if I do.
Take this! Kisara!
Do it! Leave the enemy hard! Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one.
Here goes!
Already on! Lightning Thrust!
Lightning condemned!
We've turned the tables on.
There are still more left. I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
I guess even someone as fashionable as you wouldn't know a whole lot about Dan and armor, right?
Not really, no. Like, what's with that scarf? I don't remember that being with any of the armor we found back there.
Oh, well, remember how you told me you thought I'd look good wearing some blue? I took your advice to heart and decided to give it a go.
Oh, I see. Well,
Shion, could we talk a moment?
shouldn't you be resting?
I wanted to talk with you for a bit.
I don't really want to talk right now.
Right. I'll, stop bothering you then.
I didn't say you were bothering me. Sorry. Don't take it personally. I'm just not used to being around other people, so I don't really know how to chit-chat.
Well, for a start, you let your guard down a little. Hey, here's a thought. What if you tell me about your childhood?
What with my thorns and all, I didn't really have one. Not to speak of, anyway. Although, I guess I did have one friend.
Who was it?
A really old doll.
Oh.
When I was a little girl, the doll was the only thing I could touch and hold without worrying about my thorns hurting it. I would do things like dress it up or sit it on my lap when I was eating. The two of us were practically inseparable.
Can I ask something?
Is it about the fact that I played with dolls?
No, it isn't. I only wanted to ask who gave you the doll in the first place.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Where is it now?
I had to leave it behind when I left Lenegus. I didn't have a choice. Most likely it's long gone at this point. I think it's time we go to sleep. Morning. Ready to head out?
I always love the sound of hammers banging away. Law?
Yeah, sorry. Just a little travel weary is all. Looking forward to finally getting out of here, you know?
Still beating yourself up about your dad, aren't you?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But that's not what I was just thinking about.
Oh?
I never did tell you how I ended up hanging around with the Snake Eyes, did I?
Not properly. All I know is you had a falling out with your dad and ran away from home.
Getting to Cislodia almost killed me. Once there, though, I actually ended up joining a resistance organization, believe it or not. Of course, before long, someone ratted us out. And we were ambushed by the Snake Eyes. I'd never seen such brutality. If I hadn't surrendered...
Law?
I don't know why. They let me live. They made me watch as they butchered my friends right in front of my eyes. I still have nightmares. I hear roars of Zeugles as my friends scream, the snow stained red with blood, and all the while those bastards laughing. I thought that with Ganabelt defeated, I'd be able to put it all behind me. Turns out that was a little optimistic. I was terrified they would kill me too. So I wound up betraying the memory of my friends and getting my old man killed in the process. I wonder if I'm any braver now. What if one day I panic again and end up running away like always?
And leave us behind? You really think you'd do that?
I hope not. But who's to say what I'm really capable of?
Ah! I found you.
Something wrong, Rinwell?
How very perceptive of you. When I turned around, you were gone, so we came back to look for you.
Maybe tell us next time you decide to stop? We need all our manpower to face these Zeugles.
Jeez, okay. I can't help it when nature calls, can I?
Nature? Ew, gross! Here?
Let's make tracks, shall we?
I hope he makes it through this.
You invited him along. He's your liability.
He's Zephyr's son, Shion. What was I supposed to do? Just leave him?
Fine. Just don't come crying to me about it, all right? I've got enough deadbeats slowing me down as it is.
Careful, everyone. This one isn't normal.
Do it! What is this?
Astral energy!
Say no more. That astral energy was incredible.
I gave it everything I had. I guess Messia is the first place we met. Hala.
Yeah, I was a Snake Eye and you were a Silver Sword. Who would have thought we'd end up on the same team?
You make an odd pair, it's true.
You guys are the odd ones, running with a Renin.
Why did people dig this path so far underground?
Maybe it was too dangerous on the mountains for them to traverse over them.
So you're saying that before Dana was conquered, Danans made this so that they'd have a way to get through the mountains?
If I had to guess, they might have even lived inside of these once upon a time.
Not like there's any way of knowing now. Not after all our history was lost.
No, it wasn't lost. It was stolen from us by the Renans because they thought slaves didn't need it. And because keeping it around would have made it harder to control us.
It's not all gone. Look at that over there.
What is it? It looks like a broken piece from a dish or something.
Probably. It's true the Renans erased a lot of our history. But if we look hard enough, I think we'll find there's still plenty of it left. But first, we have to win the freedom to even look for it.
We'll win it all right. Then we'll reclaim our history. Phew, what a rush.
Forgive you!
Dragon form! I'll smash you!
Radiant blood! Here! Go get Raging Cascade!
Glacial
Bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
Not today! Dragon form!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done!
No!
Primed and ready!
Come on!
It's almost too strong.
Victory!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Here, let me help.
Take this! Dragon form!
Do it! I'm all set up! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Little help!
Here, this one's mine.
Now I'm real mad!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're big!
damn it!
Do it! Yeah!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
I'm on!
Spread! Air drop!
It's over!
Now!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Take this!
Now you see what I can do! What's this?
Dragon form! Dragon down! Castle! You're mine!
Thunderblade!
Do it!
Ignite!
Raging cascade!
That's what I get for shooting too high.
Dragon swarm!
Get on in there with the others!
You're finished!
Mega ray!
Lunar Rondo! Take this!
In here!
Water!
It's
Hear
over!
my call!
There with the others!
You're mine!
Glacial Spear!
It's over!
Here's Evo!
Dragon shout!
Breeze Lancer! Looks like it could be worth something.
Choice.
Let me help!
Dragon form!
Don't mind if I do!
I'm on it! Watch it!
Take it!
Is it high? Just back it out again! Light astral lightning can
Coming, it's too much!
Old-fashioned their defenses!
Glad you have your usual...
In here!
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Lightning
Go
orb!
away!
Lightning again!
Ready and ready!
I'll bring you back from
I'm on a
captivity!
roll now! You're done!
Resuscitation!
I can carve through armor!
Photon flash!
First strike! I'll run you through!
Portal blade! Slide
Hear
down!
me! Flame of terror!
Run! Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Sweet! Go!
You're mine!
My astral energy's all over the place!
Are you okay?
Shut up, Law! I'm kinda trying to concentrate!
Excuse me for worrying.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That took more energy than I expected.
Way!
Take this! Take this!
Not on my watch!
You're finished!
Listen,
Dragon form! First strike! Be still!
Here's my call!
You're on!
Light astral energy!
Dragon form!
Go again.
Here, I never miss!
Dragon form!
Leave the enemy's arc to me! Here's a healing arc!
No complaints here.
Raging cascade!
Dazzle!
Glacial spear!
Take this!
Evo!
Dragon swarm!
Freeze lancer!
You're finished!
Here's a healing arc!
I'll run you through!
Go get lightning condemned!
Slide!
Thunderblade!
You're away!
Do it!
Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I can feel my precision improving. dispose of the trash.
Take this! Burn!
I'm only getting started.
Hurricane
Lightning
Flood!
condemned.
Searing Gale!
Thunder Fire.
You're mine! Okay, here I go!
Astral Energy. Full throttle.
My turn!
Lightning.
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Anything in armor is
Be
all
still!
mine.
Here I come!
Now you see what I can
Now,
do.
I'm out of
Remote!
ammo. Astral Energy.
Say no more!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Go no further.
It's on! Burn in hell!
Not on my watch.
Here I come! Slack! Dragon Swarm!
Shining Supernova.
Eagle Side!
One at a time.
Here I come! I'm on it!
I never miss.
Finish!
Talon Storm.
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation.
It's too much! Take this!
I'll finish you
Now.
right now.
Astral Energy. Full throttle.
Not a chance! Dragon Swarm! First! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Light Astral Healing Art.
Here I
First
Okay,
aid.
here I go!
Here goes. Searing
Dragon
Flame.
Swarm.
Reload.
Knowing when we're in too deep is necessary to survive.
We may tend to push ourselves a little too hard.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Here I go!
Let me help.
Dragon Swarm!
First aid. Raging Cascade.
Take this!
Not on my watch.
Strike!
Radiant.
Mirage!
Into the shadows.
Astral Art?
That's my cue.
It's on! Shut him down! Burn!
Do it.
Remote!
Astral Energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Not a chance!
Did you hear it?
I owe you one!
Lightning Orb.
Lightning Swarm! You're mine!
Now.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here I go.
Now! You're mine!
Anything in armor is all mine.
One more
Carve
time.
through armor.
You're on!
Lightning Blade.
You're mine!
Do it.
Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! I think I'm getting stronger.
Oh yeah? Think you could beat me at arm wrestling?
When have I not beaten you?
Right. I'll just go on ahead then.
The design of this equipment is really interesting. Dang it.
You must really like it, Alphin. Handle this.
Take this! Dragon
Here goes!
It's over!
One more
Dragon
lightning
Swarm!
cannon! Radiant
Mirage! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Lightning thrust! Mirage!
Here! I can't feel anything.
Oh, you are gonna pay for that!
Blade! Dazzle!
Annihilation!
Mirage!
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.
All this walking up and down is a pain.
Yeah, I wish we could just go straight through without all this hassle.
On the other hand, the collapsed parts let you reach some places you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Now that you mention it, the ceiling's not gonna come down on us, is it?
Hey, Law. Back when we left Cisleden, you remember how you said so long as you don't give up, there's nothing to stop someone starting over?
Yeah?
Well, I think you did just that. You've set out on a new path despite what happened in your past. Besides, you're not the only one fumbling your way through things.
You too?
It was your dad who taught me to fight. Back at the start of all this, I knew that so long as I followed him, I wouldn't end up straying. But it was also your dad who told me the importance of becoming my own master, of searching out the answers within me. I always figured I would one day. But at the same time, I had so much more to learn. When he died, I suddenly found myself rudderless. Sure, our immediate goal is to defeat all the lords. But then what comes after that? There's no one left to point me in the right direction. It was then that I realized, no matter how much I fret about it, the only thing I can do is fight. Renin brutality isn't going to right itself. So that's what I'm doing. Fighting. And in the meantime, I'll try to figure out my next move. Right now, that's about all I can do.
And you really believe you got what it takes to win this? Against all the odds?
Yes, I do. Or at least I want to. If I'm being completely honest, sometimes I'm not really sure whether I can or not. So what if we're still figuring stuff out? If we do it together, then we can support one another along the way. Is there anything so wrong with that?
No, I don't think there is. I think I get it now. We may not know what we're capable of, but we have to try all the same.
Having another one of your secret meetings? Don't tell me you were taking yet another bathroom break?
Oh, we were just engaging in a bit of brotherly bonding. Isn't that right, Alphen?
Yeah, that's right.
Fine then, suit yourselves. Hey, I think I can feel a breeze up ahead. I bet the exit is real close.
Finally! Man, it's been too long since I felt the sun on my face.
I think Hoodle senses something.
When I get in a tussle, I go full force right at him. Whoever makes the first move wins.
I do have to admit, it's quite the spectacle to watch you charge in and go to town on someone during a battle.
Yeah, it was actually my old man who taught me to fight that way. The more I lay the beat down on some baddies, the more fired up my fists of fury get.
Zephyr taught you? Wow. I guess you really are following in his footsteps.
There's nothing wrong with being so focused on offense, but the enemy always fights back at some point.
As long as I don't get hit, it's not a problem, right?
So what you're saying is you're too weak to take a hit.
You're not exactly one to talk.
We're finally here. Elda Menancia, the land of green. The place certainly lives up to its name, doesn't it?
Yeah, just feel that breeze. It's like night and day compared to Calaglia and Cislodia.
Unsullied, fertile land, as far as the eye can see. That's beautiful. Oh, what?
Oh, nothing. Just... I was thinking the very same thing.
That's the realm capital in the distance. The city of Vicent. A word to the wise before we continue. Elda Menancia has produced more sovereigns over the years than any other.
Shion! Guess we should probably follow after her, shouldn't we? Hey, you all right, Law?
Yeah, fine. I was just thinking how Dad would have enjoyed this view. All this green in one place is incredible. Anyway, let's get moving before we start looking tasty to monsters.
Is he going to be okay?
Eventually. That's a wall he'll have to overcome on his own.
No backing down!
You picked the wrong fight!
I can carve through walls!
Can't end here!
I'm out! I'm all started up!
I'm surrounded!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Eat this!
Water! Hear my call! I'm ready!
Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down. So if I remember right, there are 6 elements of astral energy, and darkness is only on Rena, and light can only be found on Dana, right?
Right. I only remember because my parents drilled it all into my head when I was little.
How did we find out about dark astral energy in the first place if it's not on Dana, though?
Beats me. I couldn't tell you how or when we figured out that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's other stuff we've forgotten along the way, too.
Yeah, I bet. And then we forget that knowledge was even forgotten at all, and it's back to square one.
Exactly. That's why we need to take good care of what knowledge and artifacts we still have left.
You really have a thing for old stuff, don't you?
Well, I don't know that I'd call it just a thing. It's also something that helps me feel connected to our world.
Connected?
It's nothing. Forget I even mentioned it. I should have guessed that there'd be no way he'd understand. How could he? Whew!
What's wrong? Huh?
Yes!
What's this doing here?
I hate camping out.
Why do you keep staring at me, Shion?
Just, what is that wolf on your shoulder?
Oh, this thing? I love it! I got it off a street vendor for just 10 gold.
I don't know if that's something to brag about.
Hey, 10 gold's a bargain if you ask me.
All done. Come and...
Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen. When do you find the time to train?
What's brought this on all of a sudden?
It's just, even without the blazing sword, you'd still be able to hold your own, right? But I never see you training.
I'd hardly call it a regimen. Unless exchanging blows with Zeugles counts.
I mean, sure, I get that real-life practice beats training any day. But you must have the odd trick or two up your sleeve.
I just told you, I really don't.
Wait, I've got it. It's your armor, right? You channel the extra weight into your strikes and...
It's actually not as heavy as it looks.
So not the armor, huh? In that case...
Just calm down a little, would you? Why are you so fixated on this anyway?
Well, because I want to make myself stronger.
You're strong enough as it is. I almost feel sorry for those Renin soldiers.
It's not enough. I need to keep working to get stronger. I won't allow myself to fail anyone again.
Law?
I'm useless the way I am now. If someone else dies because of me...
Law!
Sorry. Spiraling into self-doubt won't do me any favors. I know that.
None of us are invincible, Law. We're all just getting by, doing the best we can.
That's all we can ask of each other, right? It's as good a place as any to start, I guess.
To start what?
My new training regimen, of course. And what better way to kick it off than push-ups? 1, 2, 3, 4...
I admire your enthusiasm. Just don't overdo it, okay?
Just wait. You'll see how strong I can get. I'll take guard duty tonight. It's fine. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Just great.
That can't be.
Nice.
Very well.
Maybe we should have left them alone.
Thanks, Xion.
Why are you thanking me?
No backing down!
Dragon Mega Ray! Annihilation!
Infernal Torrent!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
I'm on Dragon Swarm! You're finished!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Finish you here and now!
Glacial Sword! Pierce
This one's
evil!
all mine!
Freeze
Down! First strike! Lightning Storm!
Where are you going? Do it!
Sword Rain Alpha! This could be useful.
Ho ho ho! Ho ho! Ho ho!
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies! I think Hoodle senses something.
You okay? You made a weird sound.
Sorry. I was just thinking how amazing this view is.
What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen mountains and fields before?
Actually, now that I think about it, it's not every day we get to enjoy views like this.
You too?
Yeah. Calaglia has rocky landscapes, but the terrain here is completely different. Like, you see that mountain over there? Doesn't it look like a big wave that somebody turned into stone?
Right? And those ones look like the horns or claws of some giant monster. I'm surprised they managed to stay up.
Yeah. Just be thankful we don't have to pass under them.
Actually,
They won't come tumbling down that easily.
You sure about that?
Menancia harvests earth energy, which explains why the topography is so varied here. It's also why those rocks are bound to be sturdy.
So all that astral energy is also what makes this realm look so lush then. Does astral energy really have that much of an impact on the land?
Yeah. Is that why even that mountain looks the way that it does?
The stronger the energy is, the greater impact it has on lots of things. So yes, like a great big fire.
but these imbalances are too pronounced to be nature's work. It's not how Dana would otherwise naturally look.
If it's not natural, then you mean all of this is the Renans doing?
When you put it like that, even something as nice looking as this starts to feel wrong.
What's this thing? Just great.
I guess... Yeah!
Great!
Way. Annihilation!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm on it!
Armor won't save you!
Just recover, okay? Here I come!
Be still!
Cover the capture!
Right.
Fury burning! Did you hear it now?
Lightning thrust!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Take this!
Freeze Blade! Supernova! This one's mine!
Take this!
All good things
Fly.
come to an end.
Dragon Swarm!
Oh, now I'm real mad.
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Go no further!
Here I come!
Annihilation!
Burn!
Not in your dreams!
Dragon
Ready?
Swarm!
This game. It's a duel of the arts.
Dragon Swarm!
Now,
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
see that?
That training's paying off!
Astral energy.
Say no more! We did it! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
No backing down! I'll smash you!
It's over!
I'm on it!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane!
Thunderfield!
Eagle Side!
Dance in the wind!
It's on!
Air thrust! Searing blast! Reload!
Here it comes! I'll bash in their defenses!
Leave that. Glad you had your uses.
This is bad, right?
Oh, shit!
No
You
problem.
picked the wrong one!
Very bad.
I don't feel so
Here.
good.
Run you through!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off! Did you just heal me?
Yes. I need you, remember?
Right.
Now, in the groove!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning
Hurrah! Dragon Swarm! Lightning thrust!
Now! Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Dance in the wind!
Now! Here I come!
Air thrust!
Rising
Arc
Phoenix!
Seal by the
Dragon
power of
Swarm!
Fresh!
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Hey, would you look at that? Green as far as the eye can see. I think even the Zoogles look a little fuller than they usually do.
They're still Zoogles, just on a fuller stomach.
Zoogles aside, the ground here is pretty nice and comfy to sit on.
87! 88! 89! Oh, shoot!
What the? Is the enemy attacking?
Sorry about that. You're not hurt, are you?
Law? What on Dana are you doing?
What am I doing? Training, obviously. I found these nice and heavy rocks that I decided to strap onto my arms, but I guess I didn't tie them down good enough because they went flying.
So you were doing improvised weight training. You and your crazy ideas.
I can't help it. If I'm not training, it's easy for me to get anxious.
Well, that's fair. Actually, I remember seeing you practicing your forms for some time when we were camping the other day.
Yep. No amount of muscle will do you any good if you don't stay on top of your fighting forms. It always feels good when I know I'm still sharp.
Sounds to me like you have too much pent-up energy.
Don't train so hard that you wind up hurting yourself, Law. I promise you, you're already perfectly strong as it is.
No, I'm not. You never know what we'll run into out there. You can never go into a fight too prepared. And that's the truth. Besides, I won't rest until I know that I'm stronger than you, Elfin.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, I don't plan on letting you beat me. Maybe I'll add some weights to my sword and practice swinging it. That should help out.
Alvin, are you crazy?
You're right. This does make for decent training. Good call with the extra weight law.
Right? Now you get it!
Since we've already come this far, what do you say we have a little one-on-one with our rocks strapped on?
Hell yeah! I'm down for that! Just give me a second, I'll be all ready to roll. Okay, I'm all set. Let's do this! Take this!
I'm just getting started.
Our camp is completely wrecked!
Go. You two are cleaning it up.
Yes,
Shion. I'll see you again tomorrow. I think we've rested long enough. Let's keep moving.
No backing down!
You're mine! Dragon Form!
Swallow dance!
Confiscated!
Glimmer flag castle!
Glacial Spear.
Here's
evil!
It's over! Dragon Form!
Eagle
Be
fly!
still!
Sleep now!
Flying free! Why did they just sit still?
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Right here! Alright! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The astral energy is surging around me.
How do you even know about all that?
Gotta break through! Here I come! Not today! Dragon Swarm! You're mine! Dragon Swarm! No escape!
I can carve through armor!
Dragon Swarm!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Not in your dreams!
Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade! Be still!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Not a chance! You're finished! Stardust!
One more! Now!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! My fists are crushing it out there! It's on!
Come and face me! Easter!
Dragon Shell!
Dragon Swarm! Explosive Ring!
Glimmer Dragon! This one's mine! Dance in the wind!
Swallow Blade!
Sealed!
You're mine!
We're doomed! Doomed!
Pull it together, Law.
Sorry, right. I'm calm.
Glacial
Dragon
Spear.
Swarm!
Here's evil.
I'll smash you!
You're first strike! You're won! You'll pay for that! I'm not done!
All day! Art expert coming through!
First cut!
Thunderblade!
Light this on! Here I come!
The medicine working!
Here I come! Swallow Blade! Burn in hell!
Swallow
I'm not done!
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummel.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
That's pretty smart! Healing circle!
Here I come! You're finished!
Searing flame!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
I'd like my lady.
Something you
Stay
wanted
away
to
from my
say?
friends!
Lightning orb! Freeze laser!
Lightning condemned!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Here
Resuscitate! Primed and ready! Rage
I come! Slash! Dragon Swarm!
Such a failure.
Dance in the wind!
Dazzle! I owe you one!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Photon flash!
Crush!
Resuscitation! Dance in the wind!
Not done yet!
Air thrust!
Dragon Shell!
Over?
Eat this! I'll end you! Big blast!
Chinese supernova!
Sword!
Raging cascade!
That freaking does it!
Here!
Eat this! Dragon Shell! First strike!
Here's a healing
Rip
heart.
and tear!
I felt fine not too long ago.
Thunderblade!
Eat this!
I'm only getting
I'm on it.
started.
I'll end you!
Now I'm in it. Oh, you are gonna pay for that.
Here's a healing art.
I'm on it!
First aid!
Almost! First strike!
Here!
I'll end you!
Lightning!
Big blast!
Talon
Sword!
weak.
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Gemini Aqua!
I've let you all down.
Let's give it a whirl! Gemini Aqua!
I was overconfident.
I'm not done yet!
I'm curious. You do any training, man?
Make sure to get some good rest. All right, guys. Ready to go?
I'm getting pretty hungry.
Want to sit down and fix something?
Yep, the sooner the better.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Lightning of raging cascade!
Take it!
Dance in the wind!
Take this!
Air thrust! Let the marksman handle this!
Slash!
It's almost too strong.
Then I'll split it
Here's a
open.
healing art!
Be my guest.
Lightning of
Lightning
raging
thrust!
cascade!
That
Mirage!
Seal!
Dragon
Not on
Swarm!
my watch! Recover!
that
Let lock!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
easy.
Way to go!
Slash! Dragon Swarm! You're mine! Be still! Mirage! Dragon Swarm! Slash! Dragon Swarm! I'm on it!
Healing strike!
Slash it! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet and...
The true power of the blazing sword.
It's only as strong as the one who wields it.
You truly mean that? Thank you. We're so high up. Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
I see a village over there.
The people working in it look Danon.
Look at these fields and all this livestock. Am I crazy for thinking these people seem to have it pretty easy?
What the hell is going on here?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
All right. Yeah. Good grief.
Very nice.
I guess...
Yes. I don't believe this.
Huh? Really? Who would have thought we'd be raising animals in a place like this?
Since we've decided to stop, we should make use of the opportunity.
Do you mean me?
It doesn't matter who. Look, Renan soldiers.
Do the Renans control this city? I've never seen so many of them in one place before.
No. Look at the cores on them. These people are all Danans. They're slaves.
If they are, they're awfully well dressed.
And they're smiling, too. Something weird's going on here.
Forgive the intrusion, but if I'm not mistaken, you're newcomers to Elda Menancia, yes? Please, you have no reason to be alarmed. My name is Droshin. I work at the Department for Welfare.
Department for Welfare?
We work to support the day-to-day living of all citizens. Welcoming newcomers to the realm is a part of our job, albeit one we rarely have the pleasure to perform.
Let me guess. We get a free pair of shackles as a welcome gift.
Perish the thought! Your trepidation is perfectly understandable, but I assure you, our way is quite different. In the past, this realm was no different from any other, and run by a rather merciless ruler. But all of that changed once His Excellency, Lord Dohalim, assumed power 7 years ago.
Dohalim.
Under him, for the first time in our lives, we Danans were treated with the respect we deserve. Lord Dohalim is adored by Danans throughout the realm, and we serve him with gladness.
Am I hearing you right? The Danans here willingly serve a Renan lord?
Please, see for yourself. You're free to go anywhere you like. Just ask if you should need anything.
What is it? Spit it out.
It's just, we came here to free everyone.
Uh-huh.
But the Danans of this realm are all happy to serve Dohalim. Are there any walls that even need tearing down?
Who cares? That just makes our path to Dohalim that much clearer.
I guess, but...
Still, Droshin said we should check things out for ourselves. Maybe we should look around a bit, see what we learn.
Everyone is all smiles.
I've never seen a city so lively before.
Everyone walking the streets looks so calm and happy. I guess it really is true they don't treat Danans as slaves here.
Did they actually somehow achieve equality here? And if they did, why? To what end?
Something here doesn't feel right, even though they sure want to act like it does.
What is going through that Lord Dohalim's mind, I wonder? I wonder if something happened.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I guess.
Sure. Sure.
So these are the training grounds. The atmosphere here feels different compared to the rest of Vicent.
It's just a nicer name for a place where people go to fight.
Oh?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
I'm like bait? Never.
Burn in hell! Dragon form! You're mine! Dragon! We got fire!
I can carve through.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not kiss! I'm not done!
I'll end you!
Glitter Dragon!
You're on! Dragon form!
Eat this! That's enough!
Dragon form!
Right now! Astral energy!
Say no more! My turn!
Big blast!
Dragon form! Dazzle!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn!
Hear my call!
This one's all mine! Lightning thrust! First strike! Blow away!
Now! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Too slow!
Lunar blast!
I'll finish you here and now!
Dance in the wind! Here's a healing arm! Air thrust!
Come on, win! I'll work you through! Mega thrust!
That's enough!
Sonic thrust! Double
Eat
team!
it!
I'll run you through!
Rip and tear!
Here I come!
Let the marksman handle this!
You see what happened there as you crossed me? Oh, you are gonna pay for that!
I'll bring you back from death to
Dragon form!
Big blast! Now I'm in trouble. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll bring you back from death to base!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm on it!
I'll heal you
Take
all!
this! Rising
I can
Wyvern!
carve through armor!
Soda! I'm on this!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
I'm just getting caught!
Sword Ray Alpha!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Yourselves. This one's tough!
You got spirit!
Dragon Swarm! Here I come! I won't show you any mercy!
Now you'll learn!
You're mine! This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fighter! Dragon Swarm! Explosive Ring! I'm not... It's over! You're mine! It's over! I'm not done! Here I try harder! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Damn it,
Shut up! Here I come! You're mine! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm! It's over! Dragon Swarm! Try harder! Here I come! Dragon Swarm! You picked the wrong fight! Swallow Blade! Come and face me!
You're mine!
Escape! Release! Here I come! Slash! Engage! Dragon Swarm! Fall back! Fire in the hole! Take this! It's a die! Here I come! No! It can't end here!
No backing down! Coming! I'm on it! Blow away! I'll end you! Eat this! Big blast! Eat this! I'll run you through! I'm on it! You're done! First strike! I'm on it! Eagle dive! First strike! Now I'm in the groove! Eat this! Big blast! Talon storm! All good things shattering pieces! Attack time! First strike! I'll run you through! I'm on it! I'll end you! I'm on it! Whoa, watch it! I'm on it! Dragon shout! I'm on it! Blow away! Dragon shout! I'm on it! I'll end you! Eat this! You're done! Dragon! I'm on a roll now! Eat this! Talon, take this! Armor won't save you! Hey, when did I get so popular? I'm on it! First strike! Big blast! First strike! I'm on it! Now I'm in trouble! Blow away! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Eat this! Dragon Shout! I'm on it! Big Blast! Talon Storm! Almost! I'm on a roll now! I'll end you!
Not my finest.
You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing. I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
I still can't believe I'm seeing Danins and Renins getting along.
You never know. It could all be an act on orders from the Renins.
To what end? It would be an incredible amount of effort just to fool us.
Let's check out more of the city. There's probably places we haven't seen yet.
My dad's working in the quarry today. So's mine. I'm gonna help him when I grow up.
Looks like Danins are working in the quarry.
Let's go check it out.
So, do any of you know anything about Lord Dohalim?
I think I remember hearing something back in Sislodan about how he fights using a rod.
A rod?
I don't know the details, but from what I gather, he swings a long rod around and uses it to stab and smack people from afar. I think there's also something he does with, like, trees or grass or something? I forget.
Grass?
Bear in mind that Elda Menancia harvests Earth astral energy. It would be no surprise for him to have some sort of control over plants.
So basically the point is we know nothing about the guy. Wish we weren't going in completely blind.
Stay sharp. We're going in.
I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well today. Could I please take the day off?
Oh, that's terrible. Rest up and try not to strain yourself. I'll let the others know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Everybody seems so happy working here.
And it seems like the soldiers are there to actually protect them rather than keep an eye on them.
I don't get it. How can it be like this?
Halt! I presume you're Alphen. of Orbis Calaglia? I'm Captain Kisara of the Elder Guard.
Just Kisara? No last name would make you a Danon.
So it does. Is that a problem?
The Guard. Wait, so you're saying the Lord of Elder has Danons protecting him?
In this country, Danon guardsmen aren't unusual. Everyone who enlists does so of their own free will.
She sounds like she's serious, Alphen.
That makes no sense. Don't your people remember 7 years ago?
Wouldn't you be grateful if you were finally allowed to live as a free person? And for my part, there is no greater honor than being chosen to serve His Excellency, Lord Dohalim. I feel no shame. But all of that aside, I came seeking you, Alphen, at Lord Dohalim's behest. He wishes an audience with you.
With us?
Indeed. He awaits you at Autolina Palace. That is, if you choose to accept. I am here only as a messenger, not a kidnapper. Your reply?
All right. We'll meet your lord.
Very well. I shall return and deliver your acceptance. Please don't keep him waiting too long.
Before you go, what lies beyond this point?
A quarry manned by Danon laborers.
Nothing else?
There's a Danon medical facility for the severely ill at the back. However, for sanitation reasons, it's kept off limits, even to guardsmen.
That was odd. Why do you think this Dohalim would want to see us?
It's probably a trap.
Still, they already know we're here. Not like we can start being stealthy now. We might as well listen to what he has to say.
Hey, are you sure about going? What if it's a trap?
That's no reason to back out now.
Law's right. I get your concern, but we should buckle down.
That Kisara woman. She sounded pretty smug about serving Dohalim, didn't she?
She still has a Renin for a boss. How is that any different from being a slave?
Renin society is a meritocracy. To us, it's seen as natural that those who sit at the top rule over the rest.
It's the same old wall as the rest of Dana at the end of the day, just with a different coat of paint.
I guess it can change people's attitudes if they can at least serve someone they respect.
But they're still being deceived. It's obvious that's what's happening.
On the one hand, her loyalty really did seem to be genuine. But on the other hand, Calaglia had its fair share of Danons who just accepted Renin rule because it was all they'd ever known. With that in mind, it can be hard to tell if her loyalty truly came about on its own, or if it's just the result of years of subjugation.
Who knows? It might clear some things up if we hear what Dohalim has to say.
Yeah, you're right. Let's make our way to the palace.
I guess that towering structure at the center is the palace.
You think it's dangerous to go inside?
It's not a question of danger. We're going inside regardless.
I just don't get it. The Danons have endured years of suffering. How could they just turn around and trust the Renins all of a sudden?
Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing. But I guess they must have a pretty good reason, right?
Like what? What could erase 300 years of pain and suffering?
Maybe it's precisely because they suffered for so long that they see Dohalim as something of a savior.
Hey, whose side are you on here, Alphen?
Relax, Rinwell. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't jump to assumptions about these people until we know more about the situation.
I just don't get it.
Hey!
Pretty fancy place they got here.
There's no way this isn't a trap.
Your guests, my lord.
Thank you, Kisara. You're the wielder of the blazing sword, the liberator of Calaglia. You do dress humbly for someone of such grandeur. But where are my manners? I am the ruler of Elda Menencia. I'm Lord Dohilim Ilkaris.
If you know who we are, then you know how strange it is to invite us into your palace.
I thought I'd clear up your misconceptions before things could escalate. What do you say? You did come here to defeat me, did you not?
Perhaps, and what if we did? Are you planning to fight us here?
I don't think that will be necessary. After all, I imagine you've taken in a fair amount of his scent by this point. Have you come across even one slave being abused? Soldiers killing for sport? Suffering of any form? I would hazard that you have not. For I have liberated Menencia from its suffering and brought joy to its people. But if these results are not enough to stay your sword... I commend you for your boldness, but it won't work on me. Still, your would-be assassination cannot go unpunished.
Alphen!
Fair enough. Allow me to host you for dinner. We shall continue our talk then. Kelzelik,
Yes, my lord.
please escort our guests if you would be so kind.
As you wish, sire.
That's what you get for being so careless.
What I get? What were you thinking, attacking him on your own?
What are you upset about? Our whole goal is supposed to be overthrowing the Lords. Remember?
He could have been hurt.
And it wouldn't have been the first time either. What's gotten into you?
Hey, you do know that Alphen is really just worried about you, right?
He's worried?
I mean, that's what it looked like to me. But maybe not.
It pains me to see that Renan cuisine isn't to your liking. I asked my chefs to prepare only the finest delicacies available. 2 wasted opportunities.
Why did you set the Danans here free when you took over?
But you are mistaken. You see, I may rule single-handedly, but on my own, even I cannot change the order of things. But what is within my power is the welfare of the people, the fostering of a mutual respect among the classes. This I can change.
Sounds a lot like the Danans are still oppressed, if you ask me.
Only in the sense they continue to serve as laborers, yes. However, I assure you they are fairly compensated for their efforts. This harmony we strive for is the current pinnacle of Renan-Danan coexistence.
Harmony and coexistence between the Renans and the Danans.
What about the crown contest? This doesn't exactly make you a shoo-in.
And yet, the Danans here are even more productive than when they used to face daily lashings. In any case, The crown contest is of little importance to me, and even less to Elda Menencia. You see, I have no interest in becoming sovereign.
Stop this! Please! It's over! Stop!
How could you? I swear, I'll never forgive you for this!
It is not by choice that one assumes the throne of a realm. But sovereign is a different matter entirely. I have no interest in playing their game.
Are you saying you'll withdraw from the contest?
I guess if you don't plan to ascend the throne, there's not much reason to harvest energy from Danans, is there?
Let the ambitious fight it out amongst themselves. All I care for is maintaining peace throughout my realm.
So what? Your personal desires are all that matter to you?
Take a look in the mirror. I may not play their games, but you have outright betrayed your own. You've torn down 2 of my fellow lords. What precisely is your aim? Spare me your answer. I care not for your reasons. Suffice it to say, I will not impede you. That said, should you threaten the peace of my realm, I will respond. I suggest you conclude your business and leave Menencia at your earliest convenience. Kelzelik. Our guests depart. Please see to their lodgings for the night.
I shall arrange for rooms for you all at a local inn. It is a short ways down the road. You may stay there for the night, after which I suggest you promptly make your departure.
Damn, look at how ritzy this place is. How many rooms do you think it's got?
Don't you think you're being a little too relaxed? They could strike at any moment.
If they were going to attack us, they would have done it already.
So you're the blazing sword of Calaglia now, huh? Come to think of it, I remember Ganabel calling you that too.
Yeah, you're getting to be pretty famous among the lords.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing either.
What do you mean? That's something you should be proud of, if anything, Alphen. They're scared of you, man. You're a real badass.
It's not as simple as that, Law. The more well-known he is, the more people might come after him.
No, that's not what I'm worried about.
It isn't?
When people call me that, it feels like there's something hanging over me that shouldn't be there. It's hard to put into words, but it's something that doesn't feel like a part of me. Something I can't let be a part of me. Or else.
Well, I still think it's pretty amazing, but that's just me.
Do you really think we should trust accommodations from a Renin Lord? How do we know it's safe?
Like we have any other choice. We can't go and set up camp outside of town at this hour.
Honestly, I'd still take that over staying here. What if they try to kill us in our sleep?
I doubt that's the case. His best chance to kill us would have been back at the palace. His true intentions aside, for now, at least we're in his good books.
Then we probably shouldn't test his patience. Let's find that inn and check in.
Interesting. All we ever got was a tattered blanket, a rock-hard bed, and well past its prime food.
What are you talking about?
What we got for our slave labor back in Calaglia. As you can tell, it wasn't much at all. Here, the Danans get the same basic amenities, but the quality is way better than anything we were given. Hell, apparently they even get time off to do what they want. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure how to take all this in.
Could it be that things were simply harsher in Calaglia compared to everywhere else?
It was the same in Cislodia, too. Our buildings and clothing were equipped to handle the cold, but that was the only difference. Working the floodlights was a form of punishment, so we didn't really get rewarded for anything that we did.
Yeah, you could be assigned to fix food or make daily necessities too, but when all was said and done, most of that stuff went to the Renins. There wasn't much in the way of compensation for any of that, so I'd say that Cislodia and Calaglia were both pretty awful.
Then Elda Menancia really is unusual.
To say the least. Hell, I might even go so far as to call it crazy. But the fact remains, Danans aren't free here.
Yeah, no matter how happy they look, they're still slaves.
I don't even know what to think right now. This is all way too much to deal with. It's giving me a headache. So that was Lord Dohalim, huh? He sure is something. Definitely not like the other lords we've met up until now.
At first, he sounded like just some snobby royal, but he immediately shut down Shion's surprise attack. He's tougher than he looks.
Definitely. After all, he's a lord for a reason.
The food was pretty damn good, too.
Why are you two complimenting him? You just said it yourself, Alpin. He's a Renin lord.
Yeah, but he didn't act hostile towards us.
You're reading him wrong. He's acting indifferent. He's attempting to keep some distance between himself and everyone else. It's obvious.
What are we going to do then? Vicente seems to be legit peaceful. Are we just gonna do as he says and leave things be?
I'm not entirely sure. For now, I think it would be best for us to rest at the inn and think about our options.
Welcome, fair travelers. Lord Dohalim's retainer told us to expect you. It is an honor for you to stay with us. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
This is better than I expected.
Hmm?
The room. It's nice.
Huh? Oh, yeah. It is pretty nice.
You okay, La? You're a million miles away.
Nah, it's weird. I felt strange ever since we arrived here. Can't seem to shake it. Maybe it's something about this place.
You're just tired. I'm feeling pretty sluggish myself.
You too? Seriously, you two? A word to the wise, our work here is far from over. Get yourselves together.
Sorry, but I need to call it a day. Let's meet back here tomorrow morning and see where things go from there. Sound good?
Sure, but keep an eye out for anything strange, okay? We still don't know how safe this place really is. Are you two feeling any better?
Yeah, a good night's sleep seems to have done the trick.
I wonder why we felt so out of it. You think it might have been because of all the food we ate?
You don't think they slipped something into our food, do you? That must be it.
If they were making an attempt on our lives, we'd know it by now. Though, on the other hand, they could be warning us off.
Come to think of it, you didn't eat anything at the meal, Rinwell. Aren't you starving?
Oh, I made myself something later.
You missed out. That was some mighty fancy grub they served yesterday.
What? And give the enemy a chance to poison me too? Are you crazy?
What's the big deal? Shion ate it too, remember? And we both tried the same stuff.
Well, maybe they laced it with poison that's only harmful to Danins,
That's enough, Rinwell.
A cat? Where'd it come from?
There's something on its collar. Hold on a sec.
I think it's trying to lead us somewhere.
I'm gonna follow it.
Hey! Where do you think you're going? There it is!
Stay close. We're gonna lose it.
What's gotten into you, Law?
This might be the lead we've been waiting for.
Seriously?
Yeah. Some people train animals to act as messengers. They don't attract attention, see?
And you think that someone might be using that cat? To reach out and send us a message or something?
I could be wrong, but it's possible.
I'm impressed. I would never have thought of that.
I should know. We used to use them in Cislodia.
She's so adorable.
You say something?
So, that black cat, do you think it works for someone?
I'm sure it does. It wouldn't try to lead us around like that if somebody didn't train it to.
I wouldn't know. I've never had one myself. If I did, it'd probably try to eat poor Hootle.
I wonder who they are, though. I doubt this is Dohalim's work.
Yeah, he has no reason to do this. Although we can't rule out that it might be one of his lackeys either.
You think one of his subordinates is up to something?
That Dohalim guy is a pretty unusual character for a Renan, let alone for a lord. It's hard for me to imagine that they all agree with what he's doing. Maybe one of them plucked up the courage to go rogue.
Well, let's head further in. I'd like to figure out at least one of the mysteries of this place.
Where do you think it's trying to lead us?
Who knows? We should hurry. We don't want to lose it.
Whoever came up with this is pretty damn clever.
Yeah, it just looks like an ordinary cute cat.
We lost sight of the cat.
After the chase it's led us on, there's gotta be something up ahead.
Let's go farther in.
I get that underground forests aren't exactly something you see every day, but I really could have done without any Zeugles running around.
You said it. I get the city up top surrounded by castle walls, but now I won't be able to sleep easy knowing they're lurking underneath.
You have nothing to fear. Zeugles work for the Renans. There might be strays out here, but the other Zeugles won't let them get close.
Using Zeugles to keep watch over their own kind, huh? That would explain why we're not seeing any guards.
Yeah, which makes it that much easier for someone to hide around here, too.
Ah! Sorry, Shion. My foot slipped. Are you all right?
I should be asking you. What am I saying? Of course you're okay. It's easy to forget sometimes. If anybody else had been in your place, they'd be howling right about now.
Huh? Oh, right. You mean your thorns. Yeah, I'm, no worse for wear over here. Again, sorry for brushing you like that without warning.
Well, just be careful. Hey, Alphen?
Hmm?
Forget it. It's nothing. I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, okay.
What's with those two?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Come on, come on! Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Whatever you do, just stay away from the spores!
Take this! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm! Hold nothing back! Take this!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Smoking Blade coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! You're mine!
Dance in the wind!
You're mine!
You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more coming.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that game. Something you wanted to say? Any injuries?
man. I hope I live long enough to regret this.
I'm on Swallow Blade!
Hear my call! Where are you going?
Now!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off! We're cleaning house!
Let me take the rest of them.
Whoa, someone's feeling lively.
More where that came from!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material. The reason the trees around here are so big is because of astral energy, right?
It's possible, but give them enough time and trees can get pretty big on their own without any extra help. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Here I go!
Eternal devastation!
Now, Redwell, astral energy, full throttle!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Glacial Spear! Here's
You're up!
I can carve through armor!
This one's gonna be tough!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! Dazzle! You're up! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Wait a... Oh!
This one's mine!
That's enough! Rush! Blow away!
Rising Order!
Lightning condense! Healing circle!
I'll run you through!
Why'd you do it?
To stop you dying?
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
That frickin' does it! Hey, when did I get so popular? Eat this! Pound Hurricane!
Be still!
I really want one.
Glacial Spear!
Dragon Swarm!
I can carve through
That's my
armor.
cue.
It's on!
Shut him down!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Now! You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Be still!
Here's Eagle!
You're mine! Not today!
Thunderblade!
Blow away! Talon Storm!
Do it!
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
I'm practically unstoppable. Man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Dragon Swarm!
Raging Cascade!
You're mine!
Water! Here's
Lightning
my
Thrust!
Swallow dance!
This one's mine!
You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
I'll finish
Here
here.
and now! Be still!
Water! Here's my call! Water!
You're mine! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm!
Now here's see what I can do.
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein. Something you wanted to say? I can feel my precision improving.
Careful. You don't want to fall here.
Yeah, I doubt anyone would hear if we even called for help.
I don't think people flattened into pancakes can call for help anyway. No holding back.
This'll be a piece of cake! I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our plate.
Yes, ma'am.
It's over! You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
In here!
Okay, here I go! Ignite!
Get on in there with the others!
Dragon Swarm!
Eagle Dawn! The tide of battle!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! My turn!
Sleep now! Radiant Flash! I'll be saving
Dragon
you!
Swarm!
Head confiscated!
You're finished!
Spirit Flame!
Flaming
Reload!
Thrust! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
That equipment should come in handy. This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist!
Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
It's over! Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade!
I can carve through!
Dragon
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that case. Something you wanted to say?
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Hey, look at that enemy! It's...
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm like gate to them! Lightning radiant escape! Sleep now!
Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Take this! I'm on it! You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
I'm out of ammo!
Swallow Blade! Not today! Stay away from my friend!
Here's a healing
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I've still got a ways to go!
forgive you!
Dragon Form! I'm not done!
I never miss!
Come and face me! Take this! It's over!
Ready and ready!
Here I come!
Smash you!
Dragon Pistol! It's over!
Do it! You made quick work of them!
Want me to pick up your slack, though?
Just pointing it out!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Looks like it could be worth something.
I guess we can take this? It's on!
Take this! Dragon Form! Swallow Blade! I'm on it! Tackle!
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Here goes!
Swallow Blade!
I never miss!
Dragon Form! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
I lost myself in the heat of the moment.
Don't mind if I do.
Thank you.
So much for sitting this fight
Turn
out.
the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right.
Your power is a spectacle to behold. Fighting in this state isn't advisable. I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Everywhere you look, it's nothing but green, green, and more green.
Just like Calaglia. Rocks, rocks, and more.
Out of our way!
You're mine!
They got me flying!
Lightning orbs! Lightning condemned!
This one's mine!
You're finished! Dragon Form!
Glimmer Dragon! Here!
Lightning condemned! Thunder blade! Annihilate!
Time to let it rip!
Here's another! Photon flash! Lightning condemned!
Sleep now! Let's get you all tucked away!
One last one! Blah, blah, blah! Magic! Holy land!
Water, hear my call!
Spread! Hey! One more!
Here's evil!
Photon flash! Hey!
next?
Here's another! Lightning condemned! Thunder blade!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Here goes! Bullseye! Art expert coming through!
Mega Ray!
Lightning! Ghost lightning condemned! Sealed!
By the power of water!
Bullseye!
Gemini onward! I'm all sucked up!
Here's another! Magic is Am! Holy land!
There!
Here goes!
I was overcome!
Bullseye! Dance in the wind! In here! I'll be saving this one! One more! One more! One left!
Oh.
Magic is Am!
Sleep now.
Right back at ya! Huh! Ghost blah blah blah! Cyclone! Light astral energy!
Do it!
With this, I can become even stronger.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch? It's crazy. I've never seen anything like these plants before. It's like they're an invasive species. Not that I'm surprised. Calaglia's all dry and Cyslodia is...
Watch out!
The hell? Is that a Zoogle?
That thing is huge! Everyone, be careful!
Why can't... These dumb plants just keep to themselves.
Less whining and more fighting, thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
What? The enemy is over there. Stand in the wind! In here! Here's the evil! Crossblade! Freeze lance!
Take care! Stardust!
Glacial shield! Here's the evil!
Mirage! Here I come!
Damn it! I can't get close enough to hit the main body!
Let's start by taking out the tentacles!
Slash! Dragon Shout!
Mine! Glacial shield! Here's the evil!
Dragon Shout!
One more!
Armor won't save you!
I'll heal you all! Dance in the
Rising Wyvern!
The healing circle!
I owe you one.
Radiant light!
Well, someone seems in tip-top form.
Nothing new about that.
And still as humble as ever.
You ready? Healing circle! One left!
Stay away from my friend!
In here! Annihilation! Mega reptile! Gemini off! One left! I'll bring you back from the savior! Resuscitation!
Rising Wyvern!
Head! Take that! Hands in the wind! You're mine! Air thrust! Gemini off! Head! Dance in the wind!
Not today!
Here!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind!
You're mine!
Air thrust!
Mirage!
Dance in the healing circle! Air thrust! Back into the fray! I'm only getting closer!
Strike!
Dance in the wind! Air
Mirage!
thrust! Not in your dreams! Radiant light! Here goes! Sighted!
Be still!
One more!
Rising
I
Wyvern!
got it!
Take this!
Rising
Rising This one's all mine! You're mine! More Zuko?
Keep calm and take them down!
Take this! Swallow Blade! It's over!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Eat dirt!
Armor won't save you! You hear it now!
You're finished! Mirage!
Dragon
Dance!
That's what I get for shooting too high.
Hey, that's... Dance in the wind!
Like it doesn't!
And air thrust! Where are you going?
There you go! I feel like me again.
Light astral energy! Lightning condemned!
Eat
I'm
this!
I'll heal you all!
Eat this!
Dance in the wind!
Storm!
I can't hold on much longer!
Watch it! That's
Whale blast! Air thrust! Eagle claw!
Watch it! I'm such a failure.
Here, let me... Here! Damn it! In your dreams! Here's a healing!
Flash! Dragon
First
Form!
aid!
Dazzle!
Photon splash! Lightning condemned!
It's on!
I'm only getting
Here I come!
started!
Not today!
Radiant! Lightning condemned! Thunder blade! Thunder field! I'm on a roll! Bullseye! Thunder field! Take that! Lightning condemns! Thunder blade! Bullseye! Flawless flight! Razor Cyclone! Flawless flight! Lightning condemned! Thunderblade! Take care of Poodle.
These dumb plants just keep to themselves.
Less whining and more fighting, thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
Watch it. The enemy is over there. Here!
I'm just getting started. Here I come!
Dance in the wind! Dragon Field! Freeze Laser!
Slash!
Cross Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Counter the counter! You're mom! Radiant! Here! Dance in the wind!
Take this!
Out of ammo!
It's over!
Damn it! I can't get close enough to hit the main body!
Let's start taking out the tentacles!
Rising Wyvern!
Annihilation! One left! Dance in the wind! In here! Power of water!
I can carve through armor!
Hup! Go get it! Blah, blah, blah! Magic! Sleep now!
Dragon shout!
Hup! I'm crowded enough with the actual energy as it is!
Rip and tear!
Cyclone!
Dragon! Dragon shout!
Weapons! Hup! Go get it! Lightning condemned! Field!
Dragon shout!
Here goes!
Eat dirt!
Rip and tear!
Bullseye! Alright!
Almost!
Rising Wyvern!
Dragon shout!
Gotcha!
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
No! I won't give in!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
Your power is a spectacle to
now.
behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Still, it's a part of you. Embrace it.
Ready and raring.
One more!
Smash you!
Healing blah 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 magic! Hey, that...
Now see that you don't get in trouble
In the
again.
wind!
I'm just getting started.
Air thrust! I can do it all day!
Not today!
Leave the enemy's arch to me!
No complaints here.
Lightning thrust!
Let's get you
Here
out!
I-
Here!
Here I- This one's all
I'm out
mine!
of ammo!
Eat dirt!
Blade!
It's on! Dragon Swarm! Ignite!
You made quick work of us.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking,
We're
more
thinning them out. Pull them apart here, buddy. I'll admit I'm impressed. Very so.
It's over!
Let me help! It's
go time.
Air thrust! Here I go! Go get him! Bullseye! Dance in the wind! Sleep now! You're mine! One more! One left! Magic is there! Sleep now! Here's a healing arc! I'm ready! Here goes!
Eat dirt!
Go get him!
Glacial Spear.
Here's the evil! Freeze laser!
The tactics are working great.
Full speed ahead!
Hey, wait for more!
I'm out of ammo! One more! Bullseye! Magic is am! In here!
I can carve through armor.
Here! Let's get you all tucked away! Radiant! Go here! Magic is am! One by savior! Radiant! Here! Head! Right, you're mine! This one's mine! One left! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
King Wyvern! I'm not done!
I'm all stuffed up!
Stardust!
Dance in the wind!
Ripping
You're
your arm!
air thrust!
It's over! Take this!
Dragon shell!
Glacial Spear.
Here's the evil! Dance in the wind!
Dragon
Glitter
Swarm!
thrust!
This one's all mine!
Dance in the
Castle!
wind!
Eat
Radiant
dirt!
light! Air thrust!
I'm not done!
Pieces!
Do it! Jill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Everyone okay?
I'm starting to get that it's a trap feeling again, guys.
We'll just pray you're wrong. Hey, there's that cat.
Looks like it's not done leading us yet.
I can feel my power growing!
I hate camping out. This had better not all be for nothing.
Somehow I doubt it'll be a wasted trip.
Really?
You know, for a guard, you're not too good at tailing people. Not to brag, but this kind of thing is my specialty.
So it really is you. When Law told us, I almost didn't believe it.
I'm just surprised you could do two things at once, Law.
What's that supposed to mean?
It looks like somebody needs to be put in their place.
The one time I wanted to resolve things peacefully. What the hell? I thought you wanted us to leave!
You'll never make me talk!
Not helpful. In fact, you're pretty damn stubborn, you know that?
It's here!
This one's your side!
Annihilation! Dance in the wind! In here!
Freaking done! All bashing their defenses!
Glad you have your uses.
Tiger Blade!
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Steel!
Piercing tail!
Dragon Form!
Here's a healing arc!
It's here!
Water! Here's my call! Steel!
Take this!
Bronze and red! I'll be saving this one!
Beat this!
Water! Here's my call! Thunder Field!
Rip and tear! I'll finish you here and now!
Ground and pound!
I'm on! Take it! I'll smash you!
Destruction!
Switch off!
Lightning
You picked the wrong fight!
Eat this!
Thunder Blade!
Throw away!
Tiger
That
Blade!
freaking does it!
Rising Red Belt! Soaring Light Spear!
Lightning Healing Circle! Raging Cascade!
Sonic Thrust!
Mega Ray!
Hey, look! Now see that you don't get in trouble again.
Thunder Field!
Swallow Blade!
Talon Hurricane!
You're on!
Thunder Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Run you through!
I'm out of ammo! Back into the front!
Raging Cascade!
Talon Hurricane!
You're finished! You're mine! You're finished!
You're mine!
Take
There you are! Round and pound! Air thrust! Healing Photon! Raging Cascade!
Soaring Light Spear!
Tear! Armor won't save you!
Thunder
Dragon Swarm!
Alright!
Swallow Blade! Beat this!
I'm out of ammo! I never miss!
Dragon Swarm!
Glimmer Dragon!
Dance in the wind!
I'll finish you here and now!
Dragon Swarm!
It's here! Discharge!
Strike!
Dance in the wind!
Pistol!
Dance! Rip
They're
and
not
tear!
getting left!
You're such a failure.
You'll pay for that! It's over!
Raging
Dragon Swarm!
Piercing Blade!
You picked the wrong fight!
This is coming.
I'll bring you back from death to death!
Dragon Swarm!
Alright! In here!
You're on!
I'll be saving this
Glacier
one!
Spear!
Here's the evil! It's Freeze Blade!
Enough!
It's here!
Discharge!
Dragon
In
Swarm!
here!
Glimmer Dragon!
Raging
You're
Cascade!
on!
Round and field!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll be saving this one!
You're mine!
You're I can do this all day!
You're finished!
Don't mind if I do!
Take
Rising Wyvern!
Here
I can
goes!
carve through water!
Here's another!
You're on!
I'm on it!
Here's my condemned! Steel!
Dragon Alpha! Blow away!
Piercing roar!
Double Demon Fire! Strike!
Magic is there!
I'm out of ammo!
Stay away from my friend! Pistol!
Tiger Blade!
Lightning!
Piercing roar!
It's too much!
I can't heal you forever!
And again!
It's here! Discharge! Time to burn!
Scorch Laser! Crush!
I'm out! I'm all stopped up! Lion Power!
Searing Flame! There! And again!
Tiger Blade!
Gemini Aqua!
You know that?
Here it comes!
Bullseye!
Piercing roar!
Hope this works!
It's almost...
Split it open!
Be my guest! I'm on fire! Right now! Soaring
One
like
last
spear!
one! Raging cascade!
Watch
Here!
Time to shine!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Hit! Go get him!
Eagle
In here!
fly!
Radiant pierce!
Double demon
Hit!
Piercing roar! Demon fist! You picked the wrong fight!
The water! Time to shine! I can't feel anything!
You're ready for what I can do! I'm on Alpha! You're done! Raining strike! Eternal devastation! Metallic sword!
I've still got some fight left in me!
You're mine!
Discharge! Freeze laser! Take that! Alright! It's time! Swallow flight! Lightning! Downfall! Go get him!
Devastation! Eat this!
Hurricane! This one's mine!
You're mine!
Here's a
Lunar
hero!
Rondo! Rising Phoenix! You're mine!
Armor won't save you!
Raging cascade!
Rising Phoenix!
In here! One more! Magic and roll! In here!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that is silly.
Magic! Tidal wave! Go get him! Piercing roll!
Glacial spear.
Piercing meteor!
Be still!
Freeze laser! Here's another thing! Mega ray! Go get him! Lightning in the way! Annihilation! The enemy is going all out!
Denied!
Eat this! Go raging cascade! Raging cascade! In here!
Not today! Swallow dance!
Into the shadows!
Now you see what I can do!
Lightning condemned! Seal! Here's a healing earth! Holy land! Go get it!
Can't move!
Lightning condemned! Piercing roar! I'll bring you back from death to
Talon
this.
hurricane! Eagle
Here
fly!
goes! Time to
Do they not teach you to say thank you, Indiana? Not to your Renin and
Here goes!
It's time! You're done!
I'm just shattering of pieces!
Into the shadows! Lightning!
Armor won't save you!
Dance in the wind!
Let me help!
Feel! Go get him! The enemy is going all out! Back into the fray! Tiger blade!
Piercing roar! Far enough!
You picked the wrong fight!
Lightning condemned!
I'm sorry to be bothered.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am!
Lightning condemned! In here! I'll be saving this one! One blah blah blah! Holy land! Where are you going? Bullseye! Sighted! I'm only one Raging cascade! Seal! Here's another! Annihilation! Blah blah blah! Magic! Free lancer! Go get him! Piercing roar! Tiger blade! Here I go! Denied! Let's get you all tucked away!
You're mine! Dragon Roar!
I'm on! Burning strike!
Ignite!
Get on here! Hear my call!
Anything normal is all mine!
Flame of fury!
Dragon Swarm!
Up and at! Let's go!
Big blast! Explosive ring!
I'll be saving this one! Lightning condemned!
I'll put you through! You're mine!
This one's mine!
Piercing roar! Here I come!
In here! Get on
What's your deal, huh? Did Dohalim put you up to this? You send us away and then come to finish us off? I don't buy it.
I wonder... We came here following a black cat. What reason could you have for tagging along? Certainly not as a spy.
You think she might have business with whoever called us out here?
And even if she did, I highly doubt she was trying to keep us from harm. Am I wrong? Just who was it that led us out here? Answer me.
Are you serious?
Hold your horses. I'm the one who summoned you all here. Well, maybe not all. Nice of you to drop by, Kisara. It's been a while.
You two know each other?
Hello, brother.
So, you're the big heroes who liberated Calaglia and Cislodia, huh? It's an honor to meet you all.
We didn't do it all on our own. We had a lot of support from others along the way.
So, wait. Kisara's your sister?
Yep, that she is. The only family I have left. She was the dreamer of the two of us, full of hope for the future of this realm, for both Danans and Renans alike.
For siblings, you two don't exactly look like you're on the best of terms.
That's because Miguel here is a traitor. Isn't that right? We were in the Guard together. That is, until he was caught plotting to assassinate His Excellency Lord Dohalim. He took off after that.
Is that true?
You still believe that's what happened?
I don't see why I shouldn't.
Even if the truth slapped you in the face, you'd reject it. Same as back then. Heck, even now I'm still working to serve Lord Dohalim.
More lies. You haven't changed.
Before Lord Dohalim came to power, this country was ruled by an oppressive regime. We lost both of our parents to it. Back in those days, there were countless Danan children who had been orphaned by the Renan's tyranny, just like us. So we formed our own families among ourselves and helped each other out, surviving as best we could. And then Lord Dohalim came along. He abolished the oppression that kept us down, and the Danans were treated like people again. Menancia was reborn under his watch, and orphan children became a thing of the past.
If so, then why did you betray him?
I'm not done talking. I'm sure you know the Renans are trying to harvest astral energy from us Danans.
Yes. Shion here told me that's how they decide their next sovereign.
That's right. There are 5 types of astral energy. Earth, water, fire, wind, and light. All of them are contained within every living being.
And that's the excuse they use to enslave us.
You ever wondered what happens to living beings and other matter when they lose all their astral energy?
They just die, or so I thought.
If only. See for yourselves.
What the... Is that metal?
Not metal, but to be honest, your guess is as good as mine. I believe it's... nothing. Matter with no physical form. Just a reminder of what was once there. They call it the hollowing.
The hollowing?
The process itself is invisible to the naked eye, but it makes the impacted area reflective. Once it consumes my whole body, that's it for me. I'm dead.
What? That can't... Miguel! When were you going to...
a sinister plot is unfolding as we speak. One Lord Dohalim is likely none the wiser to. It was blind luck I even found out about it. I tried to warn the man for all the good it did. Take a look at this. It's called the Fruit of Helgen. When a Danon eats this fruit, their body enters a heightened state, one that causes them to emit more astral energy than usual.
Hold on. Could this be the reason Alphen and Law were feeling out of sorts last night after we ate with Dohalim?
Sounds like you've been introduced to these things before. None too surprising either. Most of the realm's food supply contains traces of the fruit.
If that's what we ate, does that mean we'll become hollowed like your hand?
You don't need to worry. You'd have to consume a large amount of the fruit regularly to exhibit any symptoms.
But if that's the case, then why aren't I showing any symptoms? Why would you be inflicted and not me?
If I had to guess, because the guards' meals are free of it. Otherwise, they'd risk Lord Dohalim noticing. I tried to warn him, but all it got me was locked up. They force-fed me the fruit the entire time I was in chains. It's a miracle I made it out. They eventually left me for dead, thinking I would succumb to my condition. But I survived and managed to escape.
So the assassination plot, just a cover-up?
What?
Eventually, I found others like me, and together we founded the Gold Dust Cats. Our mission is to uncover the truth and warn Lord Dohalim. As you can see, though, we haven't gotten very far in that regard. But I'm hoping that's about to change, now you're here.
Which is all thanks to your faithful feline servant.
It was a shot in the dark, but fortunately you recognized her for what she was, and Zare accomplished her mission with flying colors.
So what's our plan of attack, boss?
One of the Lord's routine inspections of the city. It's the only time commoners can talk to him face to face. That's the idea, anyway. His security is bound to be on high alert, but with you lot along, it's the best chance we're going to get to approach him.
All right, we're in. But I have to know, how do you keep going with all you've been through? How have you not given up hope?
Hey, someone has to fight for the future of the Danons here.
The future?
Lord Dohalim may be a wonderful person, but in the end, he's still a lord like any other. And lords can be replaced. Once the current contest is over, the next lord of Elba Menancia will take over. Then it'll be back to square one for all of us. That's why it's imperative Lord Dohalim sees the light.
You really believe Dohalim is going to stick his neck out for a Danon like you?
Is it so impossible to imagine? Everything begins with a simple leap of faith.
Right.